Chickity check check.
Press Fort Wheaton calling for a Bojangle. High behind Quincy Wilson.
That just explained to me that we're.
Check 1, 2, my recording. All right, we're up on the zoomy zoom. All I want to do is zoom. We're in the
boom boom.
What is it called, Johnson? The tweech.
Rump shaker.
The tweech.
The Tweech? Le Tweech?
We are on
You're up on the
tweech.
rump shaker.
All right. Let's do some claps before we start.
Clap.
Yo,
Clap
clap
your
your
hands.
hands. Clap your hands. All right, you ready?
Clap.
Let's also
Clap
see
your
if we have a bad delay. Let's try that real quick. In 3, 2, 1. That's pretty good. In 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, that's tight.
I feel like Johnson's behind.
Johnson is behind.
Really?
Yeah.
He's really slow on his. He's just very slow.
What are you saying about my behind?
You got slow behind.
Scooty seemed to be in
Tight.
sync. Scooty was in sync. You were not. All right. Anything we need to talk about before we start?
No.
Scoot's like, nope. I do this so fresh and so clean. You should go back. So YouTube saves the stream, so you can go back and watch the whole deal on YouTube if you ever want to. Twitch drops off after a couple days. YouTube, it stays up. All right, let's roll. Here we go. All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Got Your Ears On. Guido here, along with Scoot
Ho!
and Johnson.
How about some horns down, Guido?
How about some horns down, boys? It was a wonderful weekend for WVU basketball with a would you say dominant? I don't know if I'd say dominant, but a dominant second half for sure for WVU.
Yeah.
A win over Texas in Austin, 84-82, guys. And I guess where I want to start is, when was the last time either of you saw a Bob Huggins team give up 50 points in the first half of a game?
Yeah,
Well,
I think I texted you guys. Doesn't it feel like 53 was a score that I feel like we've given up in total in past seasons?
right?
So, yeah, that
Yeah.
felt weird.
This is a different animal. This is a different team. Coaches said that it's not his best defensive team by a long shot. I'll be honest. While the defense is not great, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, it is a lot more entertaining to watch. I like seeing the ball go through the basket.
Yeah, I would agree.
You like seeing the shots made. That's I'm with you on that. This is
Well, and we keep saying, Scoot, that making some shots cures a lot of ills
It
on
fixes
the
it
defensive
fixes
side.
a lot of your weak spots, right?
Yeah.
This is the second time this season that WVU has come back and won a game after being down by 19. It's the fifth time this season WVU has been down by 10 points or more and come back and won a game. So
yeah, which is crazy
that's
in
well,
itself.
That's just crazy.
What it's done for me is I've enjoyed it because it's kept some of the naysayers, I'm not going to name names, some of the folk that in years past, we get down by 19, 15, 19, 21, whatever it is, and the wheels are falling off.
Yeah.
This is the worst team that we've ever had. Huggins needs to go. We need
Well, in the Sayers of Nay's defense, Scoot, in past years, when you knew we couldn't score the ball like that, then it did feel like, well, the wheels have come off. There's no way we're coming back from a 12-point deficit. This
I
team, it
feel
feels like, Sean McNeil gets hot. You insert Taz. I mean, all of a sudden, yeah,
tweak a defense, throw a little weird defense in there for a couple spells. Let's see what happens.
Bob's your uncle.
Well,
I don't even know. He's not. I don't have any uncles named Bob. I don't even know. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I think, guys, that statistic of 5 wins after being down 10 or more in a game really goes to show. I don't know, maybe the heart of this team more than anything else. Like I don't know if we've ever had, and 2010 might be the only other example where we've ever had a team that has played together this much, because to be down like you were 19, to be down 19 points, you got to play together to come back and win a game like that.
Yeah, and Scoot's always quick, and I agree with him. And he's always quick to mention like the Issa Ahmad teams, that Wesley Harris, Issa Ahmad season, where that's a team that's probably hanging its head if they're down double figures. This team, it just seems like there's never we can still do this, because and I know I brought this up last week and you guys reminded me, let's consider that road wins aren't the same as road wins of the past, but even so, you come back from 19 on the road. I mean, it's not, there's a lot of stuff not in your favor there. So I totally agree. I think this is a team that they've got each other's back and they're not giving up.
What if I float this idea? What if instead of the traditional warm-up to the start of the game, what if Huggins keeps them in the locker room until literally
tells them they're down by 10?
Well, no, until like literally it's like 10, 15 minutes to go before the start of the game. They come in, get a couple layups in, maybe a couple shots, and then we go. Because whatever messages happen at halftime, that seems to be what tweaks things, right?
Well,
what fixes things.
And Coach
maybe he can give those messages early, and then they can come out firing.
Bob Huggins said in the post-game press conference, he goes, Tony Caridi said, well, what motivated them in the second half? And Bob said, well, I don't think they wanted to hear some of the words that came out of my mouth during halftime at the end of the game. So, I mean, it sounded like that halftime.
They're like, Dad is mad.
Yeah,
let's get it together.
It sounded like that halftime speech was maybe not the friendliest of Bob Huggins' speeches in the locker room.
Well, can we talk about one other thing really quick, Scoot?
Yeah. Sure.
Everyone agreed that the piped in crowd noise
it was bad.
Was horrendous.
It was
Can we
bad.
just talk about that for a second?
Like even Holly Rowe was talking about how bad it is.
I mean, even she tweeted like, what are we doing here? This makes it unbearable to watch on TV. I think was her comment.
Right.
I always just assumed that it was the networks that did that. Apparently it's not. It must be a stadium thing.
Yeah, it's in the stadium.
Actual stadium noise, which that would be really annoying. That would make me mad about playing.
Someone tweeted in our in the WVU Twitter sphere. I'll have to go back and look, but someone tweeted at one point that made me laugh. They said, "Is this piped in crowd noise just a microphone next to an air conditioner?"
Right?
Because it was so annoying.
It was like a boom box with a cassette tape in it of crowd noise. Is what it was.
And there was no inflection.
No.
Like it had nothing to do with what was going on in the game. Like something like baseball, they got really good at trying to like fit the noise with the action of the game.
Yes,
this was not that. This
was like Kids Bop crowd noise.
It's almost like and when you watch a sitcom and they pipe in the dinner,
the laugh track type stuff,
or the restaurant scene where they've got like dishes
clinking.
Can we also talk about the fact that I would like to petition ESPN to give us Fran Fraschilla and Boog Shambi for every game. Like,
they were really good.
It's a great team.
I feel like Boog might be a lame duck announcer. I don't know if he will come back to basketball after he goes to the Cubs.
Yeah, he's going to be the new Cubs play-by-play guy on the Marquee Network for Chicago Cubs TV. But he is great. I love
Fran
him.
Kind of keeps it even though, like he's he keeps it like he's not one side or the other. I think he
Well,
tries to point out like true basketball,
and I like that he pays
strategy.
attention to Twitter because he said, I know I'm not going to belabor the point, but Oscar Shibwe was here. He knows like
Right.
that
He
people are
knows.
like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he knows that
Yeah.
people are tired of
Don't
hearing
get
it. So
mad at me for
he's like,
mentioning
I
it.
have to
Yeah.
mention that they have changed a lot. He's not here now.
Right. This
Yeah.
is ESPN. We recover topics. Let me
Right.
just do what
Like
I need to
you have to
do.
pretend like you've never seen this team before. Yeah.
So kind of breaking down the first half of that game, guys. I guess the tail of the tape was the fact that Texas just shot the lights out of the ball. They were 21 for
Yeah.
30, 70% from the field. Like that's just insane. And
Can I say though, Guido, one thing though, just like last week, I got super frustrated at there were multiple times where I felt like we kind of rolled out a welcome mat to the basket for layups, dunks, bunnies. They got so many shots in near the basket. So I mean,
Well,
yes, they were shooting terrific, but
first
man, they
basket
got
of the game was a lob
yeah,
dunk.
right.
And I'll be honest though, like what's frustrating to me about all of that is some of Texas's players acting as if they've just set the world on fire by making a layup.
Yeah,
Like
screaming.
nobody-
you must be talking about your new favorite player, Brock Cunningham, Scooty.
well, he's one of them. He on Twitter was compared to the guy, I forget his name on the movie, but the bully from Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
He looked just like him.
Yeah.
Well, Coleman was doing a lot of that.
Coleman jumped up and down with 2 feet off the ground, up and down because he made a layup that was uncontested.
Right.
I mean, like he turned
I
in
would have
Deuce's
punched him.
face. Yeah, it was so annoying.
Like, get out of my face! You made a layup.
Well,
What are you
Hugs
screaming about?
Well, Hugs said in the post game that defense was a problem, and that's why he was rotating so many different people in. I mean, at one point we saw Taj Thweet and Seni Njai on the court at the same time, and I'm like,
yeah, that was odd.
what am I watching?
Yeah. Right.
So I mean, I think that getting beat as bad as they were getting beat, in some places, that it just caused Huggins to sort of erupt and start running out different
Well, this is that Tash Sweet coming in is vintage coach talk at practice, where he's probably said, if you guys aren't going to do it, I've got a whole bench full of guys that are willing to do what I'm asking them to do. And out came Emmett Matthews, out came Jalen Bridges, and all of a sudden in comes Tash Sweet. Tash Sweet probably thought, holy crap, I hope I put my jersey on underneath this warm-up because I never go in.
Well, it reminded me of Solheim's story from Jay Jacobs where he didn't put his shorts on. He's like, Coach, I can't go in the game. I don't have my shorts on.
Right.
Like one of those things.
Like that's I'm sure he was thinking that, but I guarantee you Coach Huggins has probably said in practice, hey, if you guys aren't willing to do this, I've got guys that'll do it. I've got guys that'll go in and like you'll see, I'm sure you'll see a Jay Moore sighting or a now Tash Sweet's not a walk-on, so that's probably why he goes in and not Spencer Mackey or Jay Moore. But at some point, he probably would have thrown in Isaiah Close. But WVU, if they have an Achilles heel, no pun intended. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, you're back.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
WVU.
Good.
I was going to say WVU, if they have an Achilles heel, it's the lack of depth in their forwards.
Yes. So yes, no pun intended.
Yeah. So WVU goes into the locker room down 53-43 and apparently gets
and Guido, we were texting each other though.
Yeah, and we were like
kind of remarkable that we were only down 10. Really.
I mean, yeah, it was really remarkable. I felt like it was really remarkable we were only down 10. Second half starts a little, I mean, we look good, but starts a little sluggish, and in the second half, you see Texas start to gain that big lead. They're down, or they're up by almost that 20, that 19 at that point. And then I think
I think they started the second half by hitting 3 straight threes.
They did.
They started really building that adding on to that lead. It felt kind of bad right off the bat second half.
And then there was sort of like Texas had this, falling apart where two of their players, got into pretty much almost a fist fight in the huddle.
Yeah, Ramey and Jones, I guess. Sean McNeil hits a 3. Jones is kind of trailing the play. He's late running him off the 3 line. Ramey takes a crazy exception to it. Apparently they get in the huddle calling timeout after that play. And yeah, you're right. I mean, actually, if I remember, like multiple people kind of had to hold him back. Andrew Jones sort of just walks away from him. But at the time, people made a whole bunch of noise about that. And watching the game, I was thinking, oh, come on, that's not that big of a deal. But in hindsight, it was like the WVU run was on from that point on. So,
I was gonna say, it tells you that they've got bigger issues than what we probably even know about.
Yeah, it was weird, actually, to me. It was kind of odd.
And Fran Fraschilla pretty much spent the rest of the game saying exactly that was the turning point of the game. Did a great coming back out of the commercial break, by the way, they did like a great breakdown, replay of that whole thing between Ramey and Jones there. But
we need to send that to John Boy.
Yeah, that would John Boy.
Yes, we needed a John Boy.
We needed a John Boy on that. But after that, WVU comes alive, including Sean McNeil, who played, I don't know, maybe a minute in the first half and caught 2 really early fouls.
Yeah,
didn't have any points.
Ticky-tack fouls, Guido. Just really early ticky-tack fouls. He sat the bench almost the whole half, it seemed like.
So early.
Like. At one point.
Forgot that he even played.
That's right. Thank you, Scoot. Fran makes a comment like, wow, he must be sick or something. He hasn't played. And we're all like, no, he started, right?
Sean B was like, no, he started the game, and I think he went out early on 2 fouls. And Fran was like, oh, that must have happened really early.
And see, that's what you get when you're not live. When they're live, but they're not in person.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if there have been hardly any games that have been broadcast in person.
Just a few. I know CBS is doing some in person, but ESPN.
When we had our non-conference games with like Warren Baker and Dan Zangrilli and Amanda Maisie, they were in person. That might be it for WVU broadcasters.
Yeah.
But so
McNeil
Ramey
killed us though the whole game. I mean, Ramey killed us the whole game, and that to me, I don't know. That was such an odd thing because I think had that not happened and they would have stayed in a groove, that was big problems for us.
No, definitely. And him getting fouled out there with, what was it, a minute and a half left at the end of the game was pretty big. I mean, was pretty big with the score still tight. It was pretty important for us. So, I mean, very rarely do you see this in the stat line, but WVU wins the game shooting 44% where their opponent shot 54%. Texas only scored 29 points to WVU's 49 points in the second half. So, and WVU had points, 25 points off of turnovers, which was huge. Again, most of those in the second half. So it was, I feel like, and this week you can call it a gauntlet or not. I mean, playing TCU, I don't think is going to be much of a challenge. I know we have Baylor on Thursday and then back in Morgantown on Saturday, but I think WVU now has finally caught that momentum that they needed all season with a win like this.
Well, I don't disagree, but don't you still think, just backing up for a second, I went into Saturday morning shocked that we were even still entertaining the thought of playing this game. So what, with hearing all the news weather-wise, that's just crushing the state of Texas, the Austin area, what have you, I was shocked that we were even heading in there. I'm still surprised that all these games are going on, Guido. I mean, I know that went on ahead. That was, no crowd, but we played the game successfully, but it just seems like a really tough ask to ask our guys to travel into a place that's, I mean, some places are under like boil water advisories and still trying to get power back. And I don't know about Waco and Fort Worth and everything specifically, but it just seemed crazy that we're still playing these games.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, and they actually made note of it on the broadcast, saying that Texas, UT produces all of its own power on campus, either from renewable energy or whatever, and so it'll be interesting, as we go into Fort Worth, as we go down to Waco on Thursday, especially after spending a whole week in the state. how it all kind of susses out. But the Big 12 is pushing this along, and there's already been, even though nothing is official, there's already plans. I've read a couple of things where that week between the end of the season and the Big 12 tournament that they're going to try to get WVU to fit 3 games in there that week. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens over the next 2 weeks as we head into the end of the season.
Well, I think we didn't talk about it enough, Scoot. I want to circle back on a few things. One, Brock Cunningham made a run to near the top of the list over because let's face it, in my list of Big 12 players that I love to hate, there's pretty much the entire starting 5 of Oklahoma.
Yes.
Maybe even a 6th man there.
Yes. That Quath guy.
And then there's the guy that looks like Yosemite Sam from Texas Tech, probably.
Oh yeah.
And
Jensen.
But I tell you what, Brock Cunningham,
Benson,
he made a run. Like if this was a horse race, he rounded that final turn this Saturday and just made.
So he got hit with a technical
top.
that, and I think if Fran were in person, he probably would have said, "Oh, he should have gotten that technical." But because Fran was not in person, he was kind of surprised by the technical.
Well, first of all, you can't just if it's a loose ball, you can't just jump on the pile.
Right.
He did the classic, I'm just going to go flop on top of the pile and then act like I'm in the play move.
Well, and so then he gets the technical.
Right.
And then later in the game, he was acting a fool again and should have been teed up, I thought. I can't remember the exact situation. We did something really stupid at the end of the game, ran his mouth or something.
Well, he was in Matthew's face at one point after the tie up. I don't know if that's what got the tee to begin with, but that was part of all that.
But he's got a bad haircut. I'm not sure what's going on with his back.
That was my first thing with him. I didn't know if it was his curtain bangs I didn't like or the I didn't do it face that he made the whole game.
Yeah.
After he did stuff.
And here's the thing. He's a guy, he's probably 7 or 8 on the depth chart for them.
Yeah.
Probably.
Like those are guys that probably shouldn't run their mouths.
No,
most likely.
Yeah.
Right? Especially against starters.
Yeah, feels like it.
And against the, here's the thing. We're the 12th ranked team in the country. You're the 8th guy off the, you're the 8th guy on the team, 3rd guy off the bench, and you're going to clap in somebody's face or run your mouth to a starter from the other team on a team that's ranked higher than you. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Well, it just made me think, wow, he's really making a run for new, most hateable guy in this conference.
Most hated
what
player
are
in the
you
conference.
doing?
How about
and then how about Guido Andrew Jones calling game on that last shot, which I think it was Matthews who said that, Scoot. They were then convinced it was in fact going.
I think it might have been McBride said that. I think because
Okay.
McBride was interviewed pretty heavily at the end of the game, and he said that as soon as he yelled game, he goes, "I knew it wasn't going in." But how arrogant is that? I mean, I kind of like that in a way. That
I was gonna say, I thought you'd be for
I do
that.
kind of like that.
And
However,
then bank it in.
You've got to
NBA
make it.
range.
Like maybe I would yell game after it goes in. Like maybe I just start the and then aim.
You're not gonna
once
shoot
it
it and
goes
then
in.
turn around to the crowd
That's
and
what
throw
he's
your
gotta do.
arms up in the air or something.
No, and see, I think there was so much drama centered on Texas and around Andrew Jones that it was almost like for me a foregone conclusion that he was probably going to miss, just because I don't see Andrew Jones as a big game player.
Right.
I know he had the game winner against us, but I just don't see that. I know he was a McDonald's All-American. I know he has overcome a lot of medical issues, but we're not hearing about him. He's not, and for whatever reason, he's not Cade Cunningham, and he's not, some of these guys that we hear about throughout college. He's not Jalen Suggs. We're not hearing about Andrew Jones like we hear about some of those guys.
Right.
So I just kind of roll my eyes when somebody like that says.
Well, I mean, definitely good, but it just seemed really like what, like that just seems like a
yeah,
just a what comment when you hear that,
Yeah.
Well, a good win for WVU over Texas, 84-82. And the other thing that made me happy, but by the way, guys, I can't go without saying it. Fran Fraschilla giving a little bit of props to my alma mater, Fairmont Senior High School, Polar Bears, giving a little Polar Bear
like
shout
naming
out.
them specifically a Fairmont Senior Polar Bear. I knew you'd love that.
I love that. That made me happy when he was talking about JB. So that was good. Huggins gets his
that was awesome.
896th win. So only 4 more wins to 900. Gonna get it this year, I think, boys. I believe.
Wonder if that'd be good for the Hall, Scoot.
I don't know.
Wonder
Yes,
if
I don't
anyone would
know. Probably
consider a
not.
guy
You
with
would
900.
probably he needs to get to 1,000 before they'll consider.
Yeah, maybe you got to get to.
He's
1,000.
not there yet.
WVU travels to Fort Worth, playing Tuesday night at 7:00 on ESPN2 against the Horned Frogs of TCU. Baylor on Thursday, still no time for that game yet, and then they come back home on Saturday and play against K-State in the Coliseum. That game's on ESPN2 as well, and it will be at 4 p.m.
What's really sad is, back to that Huggins thing real quick. Like, I hate to say this, but if he had passed away with 600 wins, he's in the Hall of Fame.
He's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
The fact that he's alive, like the fact that I'm alive means I can't get what I deserve.
Well, that is
Better Off
weird.
Dead. Is that the movie? Isn't that a movie?
I
Better
bet
Off
you're
Dead?
right. I bet you're right.
I feel like the Basketball Hall of Fame, though, has been notorious about this. Like, you've either got to have, you got to have the 900 wins or the 850 wins, but you also have to be like 70 plus and have a couple national champions. I think he would have been in 2 years ago if he had a natty, and since he doesn't have a national championship, I think it hurts him a little bit.
Yeah, but I think of some of the guys, like, isn't Bill Self in? I think he's got a national championship, but still,
right.
he's in before.
I'm actually not
Huggins?
familiar with who else.
I don't know.
Well, Boeheim's in. He's got a national. He's got less wins.
That's
but
who
more,
I was.
Boeheim should be in.
K's
That's who I was
in.
thinking of.
Yes,
Coach K's in. He should be in as well. Calhoun's in. So you've got a bunch of guys who are still coaching who, but they all have national championships. And I think that's where Huggins falls a little short in that.
Yeah, and Scoot, I would also argue to some degree. I mean, I'm not going to yell about this too much because I know it makes me sound, like I'm whining about it. But K's in Duke, Boeheim at Syracuse, Calhoun's UConn. North Carolina has coaches in, stuff like that. I think they look at Cincinnati and WVU and they need a little more convincing, that would be, even though they've played all those same people and been in all those same conferences pretty much,
and you guys as West Virginians have got to be fired up because WVU is I think they're like a top 15 program all time.
I think it's 22. I think I looked it up. They were 22nd, but still, that's like, something to be proud of.
Out of 329.
Right.
So what do they said that they're not announcing until around the time of the Final Four is when they announced the collegiate.
That's what I had understood. Yeah.
So, we've still got another month and a half before we really know anything, but
probably because Huggins will stop coaching if they announce it beforehand. I'm sure that's what they're worried about.
I don't think that's.
We've not.
I'm done.
Shoot.
He just tosses the keys to Ron Everhart and walks out, or Larry Harris says, "You're fine."
Well, we're done here.
WVU women still playing really well. Their game against Baylor got postponed last week, but they beat TCU 81-78. Esmeri Martinez had 21 points and 12 rebounds on the double-double. They are 17-3 overall, still a powerhouse of a team and at the top end of the Big 12. So that's always great to see. WVU baseball guys, you know us. We're baseball guys, especially me and Scoot. We love the baseball. WVU baseball opened up this weekend. They played a 4-game series against Georgia State, down at Georgia State because it's, I guess, too cold and snowy to play in Morgantown. And they split the series 2 games apiece. I think
Game 1 very good.
Game 1 very good. Nice.
Game 2 not as good.
Game 2 not as good. Georgia State won with a walk-off in the 9th inning. And then Game 3 very bad.
That was a forgettable one. That one is one that you say something's wrong with the ball.
Poor Jake Carr gave up 10 runs in 10.
The ball is broken.
Yeah, Jake Carr gave up 10 runs on 10 hits and didn't even get out of the first inning. So
hey, walk it off.
Walk it off.
Brush it off. Brush it off.
Walk it off. I mean, Scoot, you were looking up a ZRA earlier. It's like
it's not great.
It's not great.
No, he had a good year last year. I wanted to get some
So what you're trying to say is 10 runs on 10 hits could be damaging to your ERA.
Not getting
it.
Yeah,
trying to
2 outs.
For you non-baseballer fans out there.
In 2020, I think his ERA was 1.52, if I recall, in about 21 innings or so.
Okay,
that's not terrible. That's pretty good.
And he had more than that in 3 pitches.
135 is currently what he's sitting at.
No, yeah, right.
I mean,
135.
Yeah.
So that was a rough loss in game 2 there, 20-4. They won on Sunday 3-2. They actually Matt McCormick, who's the catcher for the team, had a nice weekend, couple hits, 2 home runs, so he's looking good. They travel to Conway, South Carolina to play in this little tournament that Coastal Carolina is hosting. They play Kennesaw State. The Bryant Bulldogs will be there, and they actually have a game that's televised next week, guys. So Saturday 4:00, they're up against the basketball team. Saturday 4:00 on ESPN2, you could watch them play Coastal Carolina. If I might have 2 screens going at the same time to see that.
Well, it's actually a really nice ballpark down there, Scoot. Like, I don't know if you've ever gone there, but
Coastal,
it's actually
former national champions a couple of years
well,
ago.
and sometimes they use, I don't know if they share that.
Chicago Cubs minor league team.
Yeah, like I'm trying to remember the Pelicans. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a really nice park. So
And
anyway, it's a good watch if you go.
So WVU definitely kicking it off though, baseball. So we'll kind of follow it throughout. We did last year. We follow it. We'll keep you up to date.
Hey, I was at the super regional a couple years
yeah,
ago.
yeah, you were.
Back.
And this is after last year. I think last year they didn't even. I think they might have played like 3 or 4 games last year before the season got shut down. Maybe a few more than that. So it's
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
it's glad to see them back on the field, guys. Some other WVU kind of news. One is Darius Stills is taking up golf. If you need to know, did you guys see that?
A little top golf, yeah, a little top golf.
I did not know that.
Some combine preppers with him.
Yeah,
he looked very rough.
He posted on social media. Darius posted on social media some shots of he and some other people that are down in Florida prepping for the NFL Combine.
If it's anything, it means anything. Darius's swing looked the best of the swings I saw.
Yeah, he had one of the better swings.
Like Charles Barkley swings or anything.
No, I mean, but I'm just saying, Darius, if you're listening, you got to keep those feet planted, man. You can't go swinging.
You can't spin.
You can't spin around. You can't let the golf club kick you around, man. You're a big guy. The golf club doesn't weigh that much. It doesn't have to spin you around, buddy.
Let the big dog eat.
Yeah, yeah. In other good news, guys, I don't know if you saw this. Probably the biggest news in WVU recruitment this week. Out of Martinsburg, JD Nicky, the tuba standout, has decided to declare for WVU's marching band. For 2020.
That was so funny to me.
That was hilarious. He was
go big. I mean, why should we just confine that to athletes?
Yeah, right.
Make your announcement,
right?
We got to get him on the show.
I mean, what did you think, Scoot? I mean, if you were a tuba player, if you were a senior in high school tuba player, you decided to go to WVU, you're going to play in the, play for the band. Would you have done a nice little committed tweet out that he did?
I think I'd probably put together a video. I would
yeah, that would have been
highlight mixtape,
a highlight reel,
maybe a little bit highlight reel. Yes, I'd reach out to Duggity Doug or Duggity Dog, Doug, whatever his name is, Doug and Dog, whatever that is. I would get him
Doug and Dog.
I think it's Tubity Tube that does the tuba videos.
Tube does the music.
Yeah.
All right, I'd get out to him, to Tubity Tube. Put something together.
Yeah, so
cat.
I'd put together the huddle video.
Yeah, right.
Where it centers in on all my movements.
It highlights you
field.
So
that crab walks.
That was a pretty funny tweet that got kind of picked up in WVU Twitter sphere right there. JD Nicky out of Martinsburg High School committing his tuba skills to WVU. Well, listen,
the pose was solid. The stand.
The pose it was
an I mean business about this tuba stance. Yeah,
tuba. Sousa ain't got nothing on me.
It was cool.
That's what he's
good.
saying.
I liked it.
It was good. Well, listen, guys, let's take a break. We're going to come back and play the #1 game show on a West Virginia University sports podcast. It's a little game we like to call Bluff the Fluffs. Don't go anywhere, guys. You're listening to Got Your Ears On.
Your Benny Hill is the best Benny Hill ever.
Buy
It
yourself
is
a
so
dongle.
close to the real Benny Hill. I
He
love
is.
it.
He's very Benny Hill like.
I would pay good money just like once a day Benny Hills.
All right, here we go. Segment 2. Get your ish together. Let's do it. All right, everybody, welcome back to Got Your Ears on. Guido here along with Scoot and Johnson. Don't forget, you can find us on the social media. Look for us on Instagram and Twitter at Got Your Ears, or you can find us on Facebook. Just search Got Your Ears on. Guys, it's time for the #1 game show in a West Virginia University sports podcast. It's a little game we like to call Bluff the Fluffs, and Scooty still has a lead. He's been leading all second season here. He's got a lead of 4-2 over Johnson right now. He won last week when we did Tug of War. Scooty, Tug of War master that he is.
That's right. Well, clearly I'm stronger, so I would have more knowledge.
Oh boy, we're laying it on thick now. If you recall, I got more questions right. Scoot just got final bluff, which is one of the tough. BTF is like a break your heart game often. You know that? It really is.
Yeah,
it's
it
kind of
really
like
a tearjerker.
It is.
Yeah, right. Well, this week, guys, because WVU baseball has started their season, I thought we'd do a little bit of WVU baseball history and see how you guys do with that.
Okay.
I am going to be terrible at this.
You guys weren't big. You guys haven't followed. You don't know the history of the team. Well, we'll see how you do.
Okay.
As always, a correct answer is worth 5 points, a steal is worth 10 points, and final bluff is worth 25 points. Before we started, we had a complete and total random flip of the coin, and Scooty, you get to go first this week.
Oh, feeling it. Yeah, good.
You're feeling
I'm
it.
ready.
Good. All right.
Scoot is pumped.
Scoot is pumped. All right, Scoot. First question is to you. What conference was WVU in the last time that they won a conference tournament championship? Was it the Atlantic 10, the Big East, the Big 12, or the Southern Conference?
Well, Guido, that was the Southern Conference. Give it to me.
That's incorrect. It was not the Southern Conference. Johnson for 10 points in the steal. Was it the A10, the Big East, or the Big 12?
My guess was the Southern Conference, so I'm a little this gives me a curveball, if you will.
Oh. Zing.
You were a little you were a little slow there on the rim shot, Scoot. I'm gonna have to go Atlantic 10, Guido.
No, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It was the Big East back in 2003. So, sorry guys.
I was convinced we never won a Big East baseball title. I stand corrected.
You should be corrected. We did. All right, so nobody gets any points there. So we're off to a solid start, guys. Very good. Really, really good. Nice.
Scoot, we are frying.
Would you say we're 0 for 1?
I'm saying you're 0 for. All right, here we go. Second question.
Yes, you're right.
Johnson, this one is to you. Current WVU head coach Randy Mazey played college baseball for what ACC school? Was it Clemson, Florida State, Wake Forest, or Georgia Tech?
Oh boy. I don't know this so hard that I'm not even sure what to guess. I'm going to go with Clemson.
That's a correct answer. Clemson is the right
Had it all the way, Scoot.
Had it all the way.
Yeah.
Did you know that one, Scoot? Would you have gotten it?
I actually did know that one.
Oh, okay. So, yes, he played outfield with Clemson. So, all right. So Johnson takes a 5-0 lead. Scooty, this next question is back to you. What is Randy Mazey's winning percentage as what is Randy Mazey's winning percentage as head coach at WVU? Is it 483, 512, 568, or 473?
Ooh.
Tough.
I am going to say 512.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Johnson, back to you here for 10 points and the steal. 483, 568, or 473.
That actually doesn't help me, Scoot. So don't worry, because I'm still not sure. I feel like the high is too high, so I'm gonna go with 483.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. It is actually 568. He has a very nice winning percentage since he's been at WVU. So, you guys, we need to work on your WVU baseball knowledge.
We are on a heater, Scoot.
All right.
It's bad news.
All right. And Johnson, this next question is back to you. I think Scoot's probably glad he didn't get this one. Who is the winningest coach of all time in WVU baseball history? Is it Ira Rodgers, Greg Van Zandt, Dale Ramsburg, or Steve Herrick?
Well, I think it's Dale Ramsburg.
That's correct. Dale Ramsburg, also the longest tenured WVU.
Yeah, that's
head
what I
coach.
thought.
Yeah, 27 years. I don't know, 68 to 94. So he coached a long time for the Mountaineers. So he is currently the most winning coach in WVU baseball.
That is the first time I've ever heard his name.
Okay. All right. Well, Dale Ramsburg is now.
I thought
now
you were going
know.
to point out a New
I must
Martinsville
have
tie-in is what you were. That's what I thought you were going to do.
I must have had amnesia for 27 years because that was a long time. Or I lived in a, I don't know.
That's-
I would
That's
have no
what
reason
we
to know his name.
that's what we like to call WVU sports BS. Before
Yes.
Scoot. Before Scoot.
That's what I was going to say. That's pre-Scoot. is
Pre-Scoot.
what that is.
Yeah. All right. All right. Congratulations, Johnson. You got 5 points there, which brings your lead to 10-0. And Scooty, this next question is back to you. In the 129-year history of WVU baseball, how many times have they made the NCAA tournament? All right. Is it 22 times, 7 times, 13 times, or 32 times? 129-year history. And Scooty, you went to one of those games, and so you know it's at least
I'm
one.
going to say 7 times.
Sorry, that's incorrect. It's not 7 times. Johnson, in the 129 years, is it 22 times, 13 times, or 32 times?
I think Scoot was on the right track. I'm going to go 13 times.
That's correct for 10 points in the steal. 13 times they have been to the NCAA tournament in their history. 2 of those have
That's
been
not
in
a
the
great
last,
percentage.
2 of those, though, have been in the last, 4 years? So
Yeah.
let's look at the positive side of it. Heading in the right direction. Heading in the right direction.
Let's focus on the positives, people.
All right, Johnson, this last question before Final Bluff is back to you. What famous WVU player coach was both the football and baseball head coach at the same time? Was it everybody's favorite Greasy Neal, Ira Rat Rogers, Robert Dutton, or Clarence Spears?
Wasn't Clarence Spears the angel from
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life? I'm going to go with Ira Rodgers.
That's correct. Ira Rodgers was the head coach for both football and baseball at the same time. A little known fact here about Ira Rodgers, by the way, he played both football and baseball at WVU, then went on to coach both football and baseball at WVU, turned down a professional baseball career with the Philadelphia Athletics and Connie Mack. Connie Mack offered him a baseball playing job with the Philadelphia Athletics, turned that down to stay in Morgantown and be with his home team. Interesting.
Wow. I
All
did
right.
not know that.
I also did
Scoot,
not
that was a
know
bit of a
he was
trap.
alive at some point.
That was a bit of a trap, Scoot, because that was a pick Greasy Neal, because we're always referring to
Yeah.
that on these type of questions. So
Well,
that was
I
a
knew it wasn't
ploy.
Greasy Neal because Greasy Neal played at Wesleyan.
That is true. That is, see,
Oh, I didn't know
Scoot, Scoot did good job. Good job, Scoot. All right, here we go. Final bluff, guys. As always, Final Bluff is worth 25 points. Right now, Johnson, you have a 25-point lead. So, Scooty, the best you could do right now is tie it
Win?
up. You could tie it up. You would tie it up with a correct answer. Johnson, we always have. As we always do, we have you guys buzz in for Final Bluff. Johnson, what's your buzzer this week?
Rat.
I like it. And Scooty, what's your buzzer?
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss. All right, guys. Final bluff question right here, worth 25 points. Randy Mazey, the current head coach at WVU, was drafted in 1988 by what Major League Baseball team? Was it the Baltimore Orioles, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Cleveland Indians, or the Atlanta Braves?
Swing and a miss.
Scooty for 25 points in the tie.
I believe it was the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Johnson, to solidify it with a win.
Well, I'm just curious because of your fandom. I'm wondering if you found this question interesting because it was actually the O's that drafted him. I'm going to go with the Orioles.
No, I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
That is incorrect. He was not thinking about himself.
That was a lot of build up.
About a good question.
A lot of build up for that. No, it was the Cleveland Indians, guys. He was drafted in 88 by the Cleveland Indians. But it doesn't matter because, Johnson, you win this week anyways on WVU baseball trivia with a 25-0 win. Scoot, big old goose egg.
I was set up.
Scoot
shut out.
says it all.
Scoot got shut out.
Scoot's face says it all.
Was a setup.
I don't understand how it's a setup. Johnson didn't know any of the answers to these questions either.
You knew Greasy Neal played
He
at
knew-
Wesleyan, but you never heard of Dale Ramsburg, who coached for 37,000 years.
Ramsburg. Come on.
All right.
Nobody
Well,
does.
congratulations, Johnson. You're closing the gap again. Scoot, you still have a 4-3 lead. We've got a Bluff the Fluff next week, and then I think we go on Bluff the Fluff hiatus for most of March Madness. So
Hopefully we have a lot of ball to talk about.
yeah,
so
that's
we'll
the
get
hope.
back to it.
So we'll have a Bluff the Fluff next week, and then we'll take a couple weeks off. But listen, guys, let's take a quick break right now. We'll come back with a segment where we let Scooty knock the internet out of the park. It's a little segment we like to call "I Can't Believe My Ears." So don't go anywhere. You're listening to Got Your Ears On. right, Scooty, you got something for this, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't you worry. I like the segment. I don't have to have any notes for this segment. My hands can be free. I'm not touching pens or buzzers.
I'm sure where you're putting your hands normally is be concerned.
Yikes. All right, here we go. All right, everybody, welcome back to Got Your Ears On. Hey, I forgot to say earlier, don't forget, you got to go to our website. You got to get one of those Pullover Guy t-shirts. $5 for every shirt sold goes to the Bob Huggins Fish Fry and the Norma Ray Huggins Foundation. You can find the link right there on the front of our website, gotyourearson.com. And that's not the only thing that's there, Johnson.
No, but you can get those shirts all the way through the 26th, right, Guido? Did you say that? So
Yeah.
there's still time.
There's still time.
Make sure you go. You can hit the link. The link on the site will take you directly there, or you can hit the merch link that takes you to the general storefront, and you can shop a whole range of stuff in addition to getting your Pullover Guy shirt. So check that stuff out. We're going to post like we always do. The next blog post will have all the things we talked about on the show, all the show notes, probably even some stuff we didn't get to. And we always put the tune in link to the latest show right on the page. So check it all out.
Yeah, definitely check it out. GotYourEarsOn.com. Well, listen, guys, every week we ask Scooty to pull out the best thing that he can find on the internet and then present it to us in a nice, lovely package for us to dissect and think about. And it's a little segment we like to call, I Can't Believe My Ears. So what do you got for us this week, Scoot?
Okay, fellas, you both are married men, correct?
Yes. That's correct.
Yep.
Okay. Do you remember how you proposed?
Yes.
Was it memorable? Anything stand out about it?
Very romantic in front of a lighthouse in Martha's Vineyard with my wife.
Okay,
yeah, mine was New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're memorable.
Yeah.
Scooty, wasn't yours like in a dirty hotel room or something?
No, not a dirty what? No.
I thought I heard
It was in a volleyball game.
It was like in a Holiday Inn Express or something.
It was at the second of a girls' double for volleyball game.
That's what it probably should have been. But no. But when you guys proposed,
Okay.
did you buy the ring? Was it a family heirloom? What kind of ring did you go with?
I had a ring I had purchased. It's a brand new, not family heirloom. I purchased a nice diamond ring out of the trunk of a Cadillac in Sharon, Massachusetts, in a gas station. That's 100% true, by the way.
Mine was a family heirloom, Scoot. It was my great grandmother's ring.
Okay, interesting. So you guys didn't borrow the rings from a current girlfriend that was not the one that you were going to propose to.
I'm sorry, what?
No,
What happened?
I chose not to do that. Interesting option.
So a Florida man.
Oh,
happened to have
yeah.
Here we go. Scoot's fave, Florida man.
Happened to have himself two girlfriends, and one
As you
had
do.
previously been married.
Okay.
And so
All right.
he decided to take her wedding band and engagement ring from her previous marriage and propose to his other girlfriend with the items. He, of course, got arrested.
For
Joe
theft?
Davis. Yes, for theft. Joseph Davis, 48. Well, I'd say this. He's wanted. There's a warrant for his arrest. He's not been found yet.
No. Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
He apparently, proposed with this other girlfriend. The girlfriend who lost the rings
Yeah.
happened to look up the fiance's Facebook page and noticed that she was wearing her wedding band and engagement ring that was identical to her own from a prior marriage. The
Florida man's
total-
like, who's going to know? How are they ever going to know?
How are they
They're
gonna
not going to
They're
know.
not going to
and
know.
apparently
Nobody's going to know.
he took some other jewelry, but the total value was $6,270 according
Ooh,
to
Wow.
the sheriff's office. The lady happens to live in Orange City, Florida, so I'm not really sure what county that is. Volusia County. Interesting enough, Joseph Davis has a couple of other names, as you would
Yeah.
think.
Oh yeah, he's got some aliases. Is that what you're
Yes,
telling
he
me?
also went by Joseph Brown
Okay.
and Marcus Brown. Okay.
Okay.
They, I believe, have since broken up.
So he could speak in third person, just be
Yes.
like, that wasn't Joey D. That was
That was Joseph
that was
Brown.
Marcus. That
Yeah.
wasn't Joey D.
So he is on the loose. They haven't found him. One last fact that I thought was very interesting. According to the sheriff's office, the jail where Davis had previously been booked noted that he had a tattoo on his left arm that said, "Only God can judge me."
All right. So let me break this down real quick. So
Okay.
guy wants to get married,
Yes.
dating 2 girls, decides,
Right.
hey, I don't really want to spend the money on the ring. What girl 1 already has a ring, but I don't like girl 1, so I'm just going to take a ring from girl 1 and give it to girl 2.
Yes.
I like
that
it.
is correct.
I think he's being thrifty, guys.
And then girl
Yeah,
1
he's like,
finds
she's
out
not
about
really
it.
using it.
Yeah, I mean, she's not using
Yeah,
it.
she's just, what's she going to do with it? It's an old marriage. She doesn't like it.
She doesn't
doesn't
like
like
it.
that guy. Right, exactly. So neither of you have done that?
No. I mean,
No, I have not.
no.
You sure, Joey Guido?
I'm pretty sure. Don't tell them my real name.
Joey G.
Joey G?
Joey G. Yeah, I don't think at any point I would have thought to steal from an old girlfriend to give to a new girlfriend. I don't think that really goes over well with the new girlfriend. I think it's probably the bigger problem.
The two girlfriend setup
Yeah.
is one that very rarely finishes successfully.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Recipe for disaster, Joey D. You had to see that coming, right?
Here's my question. So is there a picture of this man? Is there a
I do not have a photo of this man.
I want to know what Florida man that sounds like, I mean, I'm just guessing by the story range, probably in his late 40s, early 50s, right? That's
48 years old. Yeah.
Okay. I want to know what this dude looks like that he's got two ladies. Like,
Yeah.
I'm picturing, Guido, help me on this one. I'm picturing, you remember the Super Bowl ad that just played here recently with the guy that I think was that the same actor that played Ray Romano's brother? I can't remember, but he's acting like he's a sandwich shop owner, and then these people from the Jimmy's John's are
right.
in.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
That's what I'm picturing that this guy looks like.
He looks like that.
He's not happy about that.
Oh,
he kind of looks like a little bit like Sonny Tiny Lister. I guess in a way, real quick glance at him. If you recall Sonny Tiny Lister, Debo from Friday.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now I got you. I'm with you now.
I mean, quickly, a quick glance, or maybe if.
Well, I will say I pulled a picture. Not a bad looking guy. Like not a bad looking guy. Like I could see maybe he's two ladies. I can see that.
Like a shorter, chubbier, maybe.
Maybe. Okay. All right. I'll see it.
So yeah, he's on the loose though right now.
Now, Johnson, what kind of goes through your head if you've got two ladies and you're like, you know what? I got two ladies, but this just isn't good enough. It's time to propose to one of them. Like,
yeah, I think there was maybe a lack of potential root cause analysis that didn't go on here.
Little forethought. I mean, if you've already got the two ladies, why are you trying to pull one in for long term when you already have the two ladies, Scoot?
And it's kind of like, don't mess up
That's
a good
true.
thing, right? Like if you're rolling along, like don't
Perhaps
like,
though the pressure is getting to him, right? Because there's a lot of covering. There's a lot of tracks you got to cover.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, right.
And my guess, this is all speculation, is that perhaps he was proposing with this idea, hey, why don't we do one of those destination weddings? We go to Turks and Caicos and never return. I've got these sweet rings for you, kind of thing. Like, that's got to be his goal, right? Like, I'm going to propose and we're going to go somewhere and never come back. Like,
he's really selling it.
Really selling.
And I I guess that didn't work out.
Yeah, I don't think it worked. I don't think it worked out too well for him. I don't know. Well,
It not only is it bad because in the court of public opinion, he is going to get eaten alive by most women, and two, now he's going to get eaten alive by the penal system because he has
Right.
chosen some poor moves.
Bad judgment.
Yeah, like what are you doing? Come on, man.
Right. I mean, you could have just gone to Walmart and bought the cubic zirconium and probably been better off. Like, really.
Yes.
Definitely. All right, guys. Well, listen, we should probably wrap it up for the week. Thanks, Scoot. I mean, you know me. I like a good Florida man story. Like,
I know you do.
I live for the Florida man stories.
Since live PD's been off, you've been jonesing for a Florida story.
Right. I mean, I need a good Florida story.
I feel like you had fun digging that one out, Scoot.
I did. I was kind of like, oh, this is good. This is good stuff here.
All right. Well, listen, we should probably wrap it up this week, guys. We'll be back with a new show next week. Got a lot of basketball happening between now and then. We're against TCU on Thursday night, 7 p.m. That game's on ESPN2. Baylor game still out there, is going to happen sometime on Thursday. That game's on one of the ESPN networks. And then you can also see the K-State game as WVU finally gets back home. And we get to see our lovely favorite coach in the Big 12, Bruce Weber, come into the Coliseum and yell,
Mine.
That game's Saturday on ESPN2 at 4 p.m. Also, check out WVU baseball playing a lot on ESPN Plus. So is the women's team is also playing a lot on ESPN Plus. So check that out as well. Get that ESPN Plus. Spend that $5 so you can watch some basketball. Well, listen, guys, don't forget you can buy a Pullover Guy shirt between now, the end of this week. We're donating $5 for every shirt sold to the Bob Huggins Fish Fry and Norma Ray Huggins Foundation. So definitely get that. Go to our website, gotyourearson.com, to find that shirt. That's the Pullover Guy shirt. And don't forget, share pictures. Let us know. We want to see you wearing the Pullover Guy shirt. So put it out there. Hashtag Pullover Guy. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Got Your Ears On. Also look for us on Facebook, Got Your Ears On. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back next week. You've been listening to Got Your Ears On.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and